excited. Okay.
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months.
Hey everyone, I'm Sierra. I am a first-year dental student at Meharry Medical College School of Dentistry and a recent graduate of Spelman College. And today we're going to be talking about my journey to dental school. This is a very long-awaited video. I was saying I was going to make a video for a long time, but like I didn't want to make a video only because like I was so busy. It's not that I didn't want to. I couldn't because I was so busy with school. Just a lot. But I'm talking about it today because I'm finally done with my first semester of dental school. And we're 12.5% dentists. I just want to put this video on a platform where anyone can access it and always have a reference, because I was just going to do it on Instagram, but it's like sometimes it's too many words. It's like on my story and then like it's not enough on like a minute long video if you post it. Yeah, so I decided let's just sit down and make a video since I'm free. If you're interested in learning about that or learning about more things, because I'm going to be making other videos as well, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Don't know when this video is being posted. Let's just hold myself accountable and say today is December 13th and I'm recording this video. Let's just go ahead and jump into this journey to dental school. So I have my iPad because I have notes, because I will get off track and just start going on tangents and rambling. So let's just start. So starting with undergrad, I guess we can do. Like I said, I went to school at Spelman College. I graduated in Atlanta, Georgia. I graduated this May. I was a health science major. I did not have a minor. It gave me my prereqs for dental school, but it also was more focused on like the public health issues of things. So I went into college knowing I wanted to become a health professional. Honestly, when I was touring schools and like looking at majors at schools and all that, I was more looking at a toxicology major or a public health, which I figured out health science was the equivalent kind of that at Spelman College. So I was touring like different schools, and also in the back of my mind, I was also still thinking of dentistry at this time. So I was thinking of being a pharmacist and studying toxicology, or also just using that and still going into dentistry. I know most people probably think that like you have to be like a biochem, anything science related. I don't think that's true. As long as you get your prerequisites done and like pass those, you can always apply. That's just make sure you take the classes that schools require you to take and do well in those. But you can also pursue something else that you're just interested in and schedule in those classes. So yeah, I went into college knowing I wanted to go into healthcare field. My sophomore year of college is when I actually started getting involved in dentistry. So yeah, I graduated from Spelman College with a I graduated cum laude, but when I applied to dental school, I was not cum laude or cum laude. 3.4 when I graduated, 3.3 when I applied, and my science GPA was about a 3.1. Okay, so yeah, I had a 3.4 and a 3. I'm gonna just say 1. I'd rather be lower than overestimating. Science GPA. I will say that I started college with a very high GPA. I started in 2020, so like that was the COVID year, and I was not playing on that Zoom. Like I was on that Zoom. So my GPA was looking really, really nice my freshman and sophomore year. By the time we got to junior, I was doing more my junior year, so I was like more involved. I was doing more and I was still taking hard classes, so I ended up getting 2 C's. One of the C's was in a class that was like not even hard. I was actually like, that was just so random. I don't know how she did that, but I'm still here, so we're not gonna talk about that. I was taking organic chemistry, biology, intro to health sciences, public health, intro to public health. That was the most credits that I was taking like ever in my college experience too. So it was just a whole lot of factors that played, and I ended up getting 2 C's. My heart and my GPA were just so crushed. I think I ended that semester with like a 2.97 GPA. Let's just say all my hard work from that freshman and sophomore year was just like, And then it was my junior year, and like that next semester was supposed to be the semester that I was starting to get my application together for dental school. So it was just a lot. I'm here to tell you that it's okay. I'm still here. But yes, I will say that those 2 C's definitely did affect my GPA. I did not ever fail a class in college. That was one thing that just was not even an option. Like, I don't even play like that. So yeah, basically I got an undergrad. That junior year was really, really rough for me. Let's go back to the sophomore year. So my sophomore year is when I said I got more involved in dentistry. I started the pre-dental society at my college. But like also that summer after my sophomore year, I got involved in a program called SHPEP. SHPEP was just such an amazing program. A girl on YouTube, a woman, her name is Kayla. I was watching her video one day and I heard about SHPEP and I literally applied and I got in. It was the best experience. If you're a pre-dental student, you need to be in SHPEP if you're a freshman or sophomore. Rising sophomore or rising junior also. You need to be in SHPEP. It is the best program. It is amazing. I was accepted to the University of Nebraska Medical Center, and they like really exposed us to dental school, and like even just being there, being able to be connected to the admissions officers there and like the professors there and like the students, you're able to like learn about the school, and they're able to know your face, know your name. And that's really important when you're applying to a dental school, because they have to know that you're more than just an application. If you're able to show them that and like be there and actually be in their face, that's just so important. Do SHPEP. That's the moral of this story. SHPEP really exposed me to dentistry, to the application process, which I said was going to be coming up in the next year for me because I was a rising junior. But SHPEP, they took me to this program called the Mission of Mercy. A lot of dental professionals know about this. This was like the biggest thing on my application that everyone asked me about, because they were like, how did you do Mission of Mercy? It's basically a program where they do free services for anyone who comes in the area. It don't even have to be in the area. People told me they traveled from other states to come to the Mission of Mercy that they had in Nebraska, and they set it up for us to volunteer. I was just on sterilization and I was on transport. So yes, I was involved in SHPEP, and then after SHPEP, in my first semester of junior year, I was involved in IDID. I joined IDID, which is Increasing Diversity in Dentistry. That's a really amazing program. If you're not involved in that program, I strongly suggest that you get involved in that program. They have like a symposium. You're connected to pre-dental students, you're connected to dental students, you're connected to dental professionals, and it's literally people who also went through the program and like are now out and want to help more people. Like, it's just a cycle of just increasing diversity in dentistry. I remember I ended up at Harvard School of Dental Medicine because they had connected me with an admissions officer there, and I was just like, oh, would I be able to come tour? And she was like, yeah, come tour, we'll set up a whole thing. She had students come give me a tour, take me throughout their day, they took me to lunch, and all of that was through IDID. Like, that wasn't just something that I just came up with myself. I really recommend SHPEP, IDID. And yeah, this was all happening my junior year, which as you can see can be a lot and also contribute to why I got them C's. But I got the C's, and I also was like drowning myself in dentistry and learning about dentistry and dental school and application. So it wasn't all for anything, and it's not like I was using that time to do anything like that was just so wild and crazy. So yeah, that was my fall semester of junior year. And then I was also applying to research programs to do the summer of my senior year, going into my senior year. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I applied to 5 research programs because I needed research to just graduate. It wasn't even for dental school at that time. I needed it just to graduate. I got denied from every single program I applied to. Not even joking. I call that my year of rejection. Really my year of redirection, because I got denied from every single program. The Lord had put in my mind to find every summer program and email every single school with a summer program, every single school. I did not end up doing every school, but I emailed 38 schools with a summer program. My resume and my interest in dentistry, and basically how I needed to do research to graduate. I told my whole thing. I let them know. I just laid it all out. Some schools got back to me. Some schools did not. And then one program, Vanderbilt University PACER program, had a student drop out. And he said, well, I don't have anyone because someone just dropped from the program. If you can get here by May 31st, you can do the program. I flew there so fast, and that was a really good program. I got the research I needed to graduate, and I also learned about Vanderbilt, which is in Nashville, Tennessee, which is where I currently go to school. So, like I said, it was a lot of rejection, but it was just redirection. Literally, I was led to Nashville. And during that time, while I was in Nashville at Vanderbilt, I came to Meharry, and I toured Meharry to see what type of school it was and what the buildings look like, and basically just meet with students and learn more about the program. And that is the only reason why I applied to Meharry. So moving on, so that was all the experiences that I had in dentistry, which was a lot, I will say. And I really obtained all of that between my junior and senior year. Shadowing. I also started shadowing more. I was shadowing, but really inconsistently. So I started shadowing more at a dental office near my college called Fabulous Smiles. I love that dental office. Shout out to Dr. Brown and Dr. Green and everyone there. Dr. Green actually wrote my letter of recommendation, and Dr. Brown actually went to Meharry, and he was the one who was telling me keep pressing them, just keep reaching out to them, So yes, love them there. You have to find time to shadow. I was going twice a week for a couple of hours, and I ended up having over 100 hours, and that was just me doing it during the semester, just making time to do it during the semester for a year, and I was able to get consistent hours. So shadowing, I did a lot of shadowing. Like I said, racked up about maybe over 100 for sure. Community service, I was also really involved in community service. I did food banks. I guess I just did mostly food pantries and food banks. Yeah. So yeah, community service, I had a good amount of hours as well. Some schools don't require community service, but holistically, that just shows that you're more involved in other things, which is always good. If you don't want to do community service, don't do it just because I'm here saying I did it. Just do something you actually want to do. If you want to go to a dog shelter and help with the dogs there, they always need people to do that. Yeah, just do something that fits you if you do want to be more involved. It doesn't have to be dentistry related, and it doesn't have to be what I did. You can do whatever you want. DAT, let's get into DAT a little bit. So my DAT, I use 3 platforms. iPrep, I do not recommend iPrep. It did not help me. DAT Booster, they had the exact questions that were on my DAT, literally about that, the taxonomy. The biology ones were exact. It was weird. I was like, did I cheat or something? It's only $300. Not only, it is $300. Kim with Kess. She's an amazing professor for organic chemistry. I was projecting a 14, 13 sometimes when I was doing practice exams. On the actual exam, after studying with her for 3 days, I got an 18 on my orgo. It wasn't because I was so good at orgo. God sent me to her, and she helped me in 3 days. She could have helped me in more if I just went to her sooner and reached out sooner. But her guide for the DAT is no joke. I didn't even say my score yet. On the DAT, I scored a whopping overall and got into 3 schools. 17. I was projecting a 15 though, and I was still gonna take it. And I was like, whatever I get, I'm applying with, because at that point my applications were already turned in. You can turn in your application before you take your DAT, as long as you put the date that you plan to take the DAT and make sure you send your scores to them. So yes, I got a 17. And a 17 nowadays, the DAT is like inflation. It keep getting higher. Before it probably was like an 18 was a good score. Now it's like a 19. Next year, who knows? Maybe it'll be a 20. I got a 17. And I was just like, it's higher than the 15. So Lord, I'll take it. I just took that 17. I took that 17 and I was happy with that 17 and I applied. I took that 17 out. And no dental school asked me about that 17. I will say that. So it's like I was stressing about it for no reason. No school asked me about it in my interviews. Not one. Hey, what can I say? Okay, here we go. Whoa! I'm going to try to put this on the screen so y'all can just know I'm not fibbing. My scores are kind of low. Oops. So on my PAT, I got a 15. On my quantitative reasoning, which is math, 15. Reading comprehension, 21. General chemistry, 16. Organic chemistry, 18. My total science was a 16. And my academic average was a 17. You might say to yourself, girl, those are bad. But where did it get me? Those are my scores for the DAT. I mean, no one asked me about these scores at all, actually. So I don't know. I don't know. Those scores, if I was a pre-dental student and like I heard those scores, I would be like, huh? So you took a master's gap year? Nah. I didn't have no money to reapply or have any more time to study. Everything was gone and depleted. It was kind of like, hey, you have no other option but to apply. So we applied and our application went through. I applied to 5 schools: University of Nebraska, Howard, Harvard, Tufts University, and Meharry. After I applied, everything was in. Nebraska was the first school to give me my application. Give me an interview. If you knew me, you knew I was going to Nebraska. Like, that's where I wanted to go. I love Nebraska. On decision day, I had only heard back from one school to interview, which means I was only hearing back from one school on decision day. Y'all, my little heart was crushed a year ago. Literally tomorrow. It'll be a year ago tomorrow. I got waitlisted. And to you, that might not be important, but like, eventually I got in, but like, it was just like, wow. So fast forward, I still had not heard from another school. Then in March, I heard back from Tufts. It's so funny because I did not see the email from them at all until my friend texted me. It was like, shout out to Manisha, did you get an email from Tufts? And I was like, And then I went to look and I was like, oh yeah, I did, girl. I got an interview. Ended up getting in and I had not heard back from any school, so I sent my deposit, which was a lot of money. It was $3,000. That was crazy. But we did it because that was just a school, and I hadn't gotten into any other school. I was still waitlisted. Hadn't heard back from any other school, so boom. So then, the day after my Tufts interview, I got an email from Howard. They just straight up rejected me. No interview. They just said, no, girl. And I was just like, I understand. Back from Harvard, they rejected me too. No interview, no nothing. Then Meharry, I never heard anything back from. I don't know if I was hyper fixating on just hearing something back from them, because like, I sent y'all my money. Y'all have to give me a rejection or an acceptance or a wait. Y'all have to give me something. Y'all have to. Like, this is a non-negotiable. Like, y'all have to give. I'm leaving here with something. If it's a rejection, okay. So I emailed them and they were like, oh, we're gonna get out acceptances. We're still doing interviews. So I'm like, oh, y'all still doing interviews? Okay, say no more. That's fine. And then I ended up getting an interview with them in April. Mind you, I'm already going to Tufts, but I'm like, should I even take this interview? Like, I already paid this $3,000. I did not tell anyone because it was like, girl, you already going to a dental school. Why are you going to interview here? Why are you wasting your time? And it's like, I don't know. I just had to. So I did it. I did the interview. It was cool. I had 2 interviews that were separate. And it was good to me. I enjoyed talking to them. I did my interview. And then it was May. And I graduated from college. And I was still going to Tufts. And I still hadn't heard back whether I was rejected or accepted to Meharry. So I don't know if I was hyperfixating. I don't know. Or if it was just in my heart that I really wanted to go to Meharry. I was praying every day about it. I was saying it every day. Like, it was just like, if they give me a rejection, okay, I'm not going, obviously. But like, if they give me an acceptance, like, am I just gonna let money stop me from going? I cannot do that. Like, I ended up telling my family that I had interviewed there and I was still waiting after graduation, and they were like, of course they funded the $3,000. So they was just like, my mom was like, so you just gonna go? Or like, I'm just like, I mean, I don't know. My family was literally just like, okay, we're gonna pray. If this is really what your heart desires. They fasted for me, prayed for me. Then I got an email from Meharry saying, you are on the top 10% of our wait list. This was in May. I'm like, okay, wait list. I don't mind waiting. Even though I was so stressed about this. Like, I was so stressed. Like, my arm literally started to feel like numb. That was a really bad time. I thought something was wrong with me, but it was just stress. I was holding my arm. I did not know. So that was a very stressful time. Then I emailed them a letter of continued interest. This email, I saw it on Reddit. I was calling their office. I was calling Meharry Admissions, just like very politely asking, like, do you know when I'll hear back? I said I was on the top 10% of the wait list. At this point, we're in June. And my friend, Kristen, who's here at Meharry now with me, she was telling me that she was moving to Nashville that following week in June, that we were hanging out because her classes were starting. I'm just like, the classes start next week? Like, I don't have nowhere to live there. What if I get accepted? Like, am I supposed to just go? Like, what am I doing? So I ended up emailing them this letter. I'm going to put it right here. To the Meharry Medical College Admissions Committee, I am Sierra Foster, a current applicant, and this is my official letter of continued interest for the Meharry Medical College School of Dentistry. I would like to thank the admissions committee for reviewing my application, as well as the faculty members who took the time to interview me. A few days ago, I received notice that I have been placed on the wait list for Meharry's dental program, and I would like to reply that if selected for this program, I will accept my offer into this esteemed institution. My application to Meharry was very intentional, with this being my top choice. After shadowing my dentist who went to Meharry, meeting with a representative at the Increasing Diversity in Dentistry Symposium, shout out to Mrs. Thompson, learning about the program with the Spelman Pre-Dental Society, Mr. Samuel, and exploring all the school has to offer while researching in Nashville, my choice to attend this program is solidified. I am confident that this program will help me on the path to becoming the competent community-serving clinician that I aspire to be. Signed, S&F, me. I sent that email. 2 days later, y'all, I got my acceptance. I'm not gonna say that that's why, because God already knew. But like, I was so scared to send that letter because I thought like, it can either hurt you or help you, really. It was just a lot. And I didn't know what I was going to get from looking at that. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, I just emailed them this letter. What if I spelled something wrong, even though I know I didn't? What if I like said something I wasn't supposed to say? So it really can hurt or help you, depending on what you say. I sent that email. I got my acceptance. And I got my acceptance June 17th. They were like, can you get here by Thursday? They called me and was like, can you get here by Thursday? Which was June 20th. Literally, I had to pack up my apartment. I didn't have to be at my apartment until July 31st in Atlanta, so I still was able to like go back and fix everything. I had to pack up my apartment. I had no place to stay in Nashville. I had to come here, stay across the hall in my homegirl apartment, who go here, Kristen. And now I live in the apartment literally right across the hall from her. She hooked that up too, like. And Meharry also has on-campus housing, shameless plug, but it eats down. Housing right there, housing right there, housing all the way over there, and housing right here. They got that housing for you if you think about coming here. That's top on the list of why you should. Yes, I just packed up my apartment, booked a flight to leave on Juneteenth. I left June 19th. I left June 20th. I was in orientation. The orientation was already started, but I started orientation late. A week later, I got my apartment, so I moved in here. And yeah, the rest was history. I paid that deposit so fast. That was it. And now I'm at Meharry Medical College, done with my first semester. That was so chaotic, but we're here. We're really here in Nashville, Tennessee, in dental school, learning about teeth. Like in 3 semesters, I'm going to be working on patients in the clinic in 3 semesters. So it goes by fast. But yeah, I'm supposed to be here. This is where I'm supposed to be. I would just say listen to your heart most, because don't listen to your heart most. Listen to God most. God is going to put things in you that you're just going to, I didn't come on here to preach, but I just got to let the people know. He will put something in you that will just push you in the direction you're supposed to go. And you can try to fight it or not. It's easier not to, in my experience. But sometimes you just have to put apply, Lord. It'll make you trust him more. So yeah, that's my story of how I got to dental school. It's very stressful. I'm gonna do a recap of my first semester with my friends, and that's gonna be interesting. Not in a bad way, but like y'all gonna see how very dental school is not for the weak. Like, you don't have to be strong. I'm not strong all the time. I just cried 2 days ago. I have no shame about it. This is the most stressful week of dental school, and it was my last week. But like, you're gonna get through. It's gonna be super duper hard, but you're gonna get through. And I believe in you. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, subscribe because we have more coming. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in my next freaking video. Okay, bye.
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months.